Morning. It's been a while. I haven't really kept up with anything, but just wanted to get on and say a few words about George Perez and Neil Adams passing two giants in such a short time period. Um, they'll be missed, but and it's sad that they passed. I really like them both for their work, especially. It's funny, Neil Adams, it's his earlier work with George Perez. He sort of stayed true to who he was. I'm not saying Neil Adams didn't, he just evolved in a different way. Um, I sort of liked his energy better when he was younger. I especially like his stories with Dennis O'Neill. And I talked about it before collaborations that it really matters who you're working with and what you put out. Um, because sometimes a great artist can work with a not very good writer or make himself the writer, which a few times in history it works, but with Neil Adams it never worked. Um, he wasn't a very good writer, um, but he was a great storyteller, and with Dennis O'Neill he told absolutely amazing stories. I still think the Wandering Heroes, Green Arrow, Green Lantern, should be more appreciated than it is. Not price wise, I don't give a shit, but just if you're into comic books, you should definitely pick those up. You don't need the 9.8. You can just pick up a trade and read it because it's a really really good story, with great art and great character storytelling. George Perez, um, to me, is a little bit different because he was good. The art was great. Didn't really matter who he was doing it for. He was just sort of just always putting out amazing artwork. Um, uh, he did with Marv Wolfman. He did great work. Um, he also did Crisis, which I thought was a very convoluted and strange story, but for the artwork alone, it's worth picking up. I've read it once, and yeah, it's like reading the Bible, sort of. There's some good short segments in there, but as a huge epic story, it doesn't really make sense. Um, but the artwork is amazing, and of course, Perez is known for doing like 100 characters in a box this size. It's just amazing the amount of details he got into each panel. While Adams was more of an fluid action, it was the motion of his panels that I thought was absolutely amazing, and also the visual work itself. How can I describe it? I'm not a designer, but the way that he designed panels, it was very fluid and action like all the time and very emotional. His characters were always, Neil Adams, very emotional. And that fitted well with Dennis O'Neill's writing because Dennis O'Neill was also very emotional. So they went great together. Yeah, just they'll both be missed. Great, great man in the industry, great icons. I know that Neil Adams' artwork has been collected for a long time and will probably keep being collected for a long time because it's amazing. Perez, less so, um, but sort of, I don't know. I've never met any of them, but the videos I've seen online and from what I've heard from people, Perez was just a really, really nice human being. While Neil Adams could be a bit of a, I think he was a little bit bitter at the end that he hadn't made more money. I think he thought that he should have made more money. Um, yeah, I can sort of understand him because his legacy, what he left behind, Neil Adams was absolutely amazing. But it amounts to nothing being bitter about life. So there's a bit of advice for you here in the wee morning hours. Don't be bitter. It'll lead you nowhere. It'll gain you nothing. So all right, I've got some new pulps in. I just wanted to briefly show them to you and talk a little bit about them. Um, I'm so crazy busy these days, so I haven't really done any research on any of them. So I'll just show them to you and tell you why I bought them. Um, this is the Skipper #1. So I usually don't. I usually cannot afford the first issues of anything. This is from December 1936, and I just really like the cover. Um, I don't know if it's a kettle exploding or if it's I don't know what it is, but I just like the cover, the colors, everything about this is really really amazing. Of course, like always, the inside smells beautifully. Um, $20 million under the sea, and here's the you can buy a ring or clock, a watch, and there's a cigarette ad. Very subtle though, right? I don't know if it's the. Yeah, it smells nice. It smells old. Some inside artwork. Sorry, my fingernails are really dirty. I'm working day and night right now. More inside artwork. Really beautiful. Uh, yeah. Captain Fury. I take what I want when I want it. So there you go. So I think it's really beautiful. Um, I don't have a lot of #1s and firsts, and I saw this. My youngest son has red hair, so I don't know why, but I think I have some red in my hair. But um, yeah, sort of spoke to me, the cover. Well, I'll put it down here. All right. Now I like detective covers, mystery covers. I like the brutal ones. I mean, the one where the girl is getting mauled, they are like 500 to $1,000. So I don't need the mauling. I just, I just want a good story. A cover that tells a good story. I have here crack detective stories from November. What year? I don't know. I really like this cover. Of course, the lady is in a red dress, right? I mean, if you're a woman and you put on a red dress, you're gonna die for some reason. Blonde hair, fair skin, and then the fella. Now you can see that he's a vagabond or a homeless person, or from the rope around. He doesn't have a belt; he has a rope. His clothes are tattered. I like the way he holds his hand. It shows that he's evil. You don't even see the face; you just see the hand and his stance, and you know this fucker is evil. Of course, he's dragging a girl, but he could be like rescuing her from the train. The train is coming, and he's trying to get her off the track. But that's not the story you get. You get that he's either putting her out there to see her getting torn to bits, or he's dragging her off somewhere beyond the tracks to have his way with her. You can also see on the back of his head, you know, the shape of his head. He's bald. Um, I'm not saying that bald men are evil, but it's just it's it's the way that he's drawn that you know that this man is up to no good. He has hairy legs as well and loafers. Yeah, the loafers. That's the dead giveaway. It's really nice inside though. It's really the paper is really I think it's one of the best I've had. Um, and again, one of those beautiful drawings. Blonde bait murder master. it's, it's, it's lovely. It smells old. I like the smell. Oh, there's the most amazing factory to you introductory offer ever made to our magazine readers. So there you go. It's a fountain pen or a ball pen. There's a name on the back. These are not 9.8s. You know, if you collect comic books and you're going, you know, oh, that's really, you know, it's torn and yeah, it's crappy paper. It was um it was crappy production, and they were just meant to be read and thrown away. It's this is a 15 center, so it's probably a little bit later. I don't know when it's. I'll just see if I can see where it's from. Seat covers, way below retail, $3.98. You gotta be careful that for the front page not to fall off. Oh, it's 1948. Oh, it's not bad. All right. I liked it. I like the story that it tells, you know. I guess that's why I like comic books. Because it tells stories with pictures. I mean, I like books as well. I read a lot of books, um, but it's sort of amazing to be able to tell a story without any words, and you just show an image, and there's all the whole story opens up in your head, and you start telling it to yourself. You know, how the hell did she end up there? Who's this fella? What's he doing with her? You know, and it could be a good story, it could be a bad story. I do think that this is not going to end well for the young lady, but that's just me. All right, and then one of the oldies but goldies. I like these amazing stories. Uh, this is a later one. I just thought there was this is a bit Errol Flynn like. I like Errol Flynn. Um, Adventures of Robin Hood. I saw that in a local cinema when I was small, and it was an old theater that was turned into a cinema, and it's the only thing I saw there, and it closed soon afterwards. But it was a really big experience for me to see something old, because you know, when you're, I don't know, I was 10 or 12, so it wasn't the time of the release of the Adventures of Robin Hood. I'm not that old, but they showed the film for some reason. I don't know why. Um, and it was just I fell in love with Errol Flynn. You know, he was a great hero, swashbuckling. You know, he had a lot of energy, and he was funny, and he was brave. And this guy sort of reminded me of Errol Flynn. And then I thought it was really really funny with the hallucination, the drugs, or maybe she's actually there's a woman forming out of the mist of this. Again, another story, right? What the hell is going on here? Who's the fella? Who's the broad? Ooh, this is older. No, yeah, this is 1950s, I think, because they have an ad for Fantastic Adventures. I think it's the same company. Oh, and Mammoth Westerns. They're starting to put ads in for themselves. See, this is 1949. I sort of, as a rule, try to get anything before 1950, but if there's a great cover beyond 1950, it's I'll buy that as well. The Swordsman of Pyrrha. Right. Pyra. Probably. This is more, of course, fantasy oriented, amazing stories. I just I thought this was really really cool cover, and it's a pretty nice condition. Yeah, I talked about this before. They grade different from other books, but for me, again, it's the story of their cover, and I like these covers because they're innocent and they're I think they're more intuitive. I think that's the word that I was looking for than they are today because they're sort of they are more innocent. The artists were more innocent. There was a lot of women doing the cover, so it's not about gender or race. It's just about the cover for me. Um, so all that crap was out of the way, and it was about the story. It was about telling a story. This is one of the. I'm trying to get all the Shadow 1942. So this is another one. It's in a nice condition. It's a 10 center. Judge Lawless. So there you go. It's August 15, 1942. Of course, they came twice a month. I, I just realized that after I decided to collect 1942. Now, why 1942? I don't know. Because I got a nice cover from 1942 and I thought that, you know, I don't know how clear a head you have when you're drinking whiskey, but yeah, it's a nice ad. This is a really nice condition. The paper is browner. Let's see if I can do this with it. But it feels really solid. There's no tape. There's a there's a crease or a tear there, but there's loads of creases. But it's a nice copy. He made a mockery of law and justice in his courtroom of evil until the shadow stepped in. A mockery. Yeah. All right. So the cover here is I like the Lady Justice has the shades on. Uh, that's just a good just a little bit funny. Um, yeah, it's a nice cover. He has some corn sacks or something like that on. Um, Coffee bean sacks. It probably says down here. Nature something. So he's sort of making his own laws. Yeah. I try to get these in better conditions, um, if I can. Just because it's really nice to have something this old in a really really nice condition. Um, it's 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 not about the 9.8 when they're that old for me. It's about somebody loved these or forgot about them, one of the other, and but somebody probably took really good care of them, so they were shown a lot of love. So somebody treasured these, and that's what you're getting. They didn't trash them. They really treasured them, and I think that's nice to be handed down that responsibility. So you like have to look after them, and so you can hand them down to somebody else one day. The last one is another detective cover. Um, a really nice cover. Wow, there's a lot of gold there. All right, I'm teasing you. Again with the red, right? Now, this is the Phantom Detective, and it's a really nice cover. Um, the black's a nice, and she's in a red. Well, not dressed this time. It's just a red outfit, and he's a bald again. With the balding, I'm telling you, don't trust the fuckers. Um, and he's, and he's looking up. He's a sailor, I think, because he has a striped shirt on. That's what I'm going with right now. It's at a harbor as well. There's a city in the background. Um, and something is coming. He's holding her down, and something is coming. They're both looking at it. It's something horrifying. So it's up to your imagination to figure out what it is. Again, a really nice cubby. A Hand for Murder. The page is a really nice quality. This is 25 cents, so this is probably from 1950 or older, younger, whatever you want. Winter 1952. Yeah, it's funny to see the progress that this is a lot more feels a lot more modern. Here's Santa Claus in jeans, Lee jeans. Um, and there's another ad for the radio television. Now it's television as well to fix them because we're in the 1950s and people started having televisions. That's a nice drawing. Lots of wings. Again with the smell, right? A lethal bit of heaven. Yeah, this is really nice as well. Nice copy. But it's 1952, so I usually don't buy 1950 or older. Um, but I just thought this cover was really really cool and it was cheap. So um, yeah. Again, that's what the pulps were really good at having you guessing what was going to go on. I think the comic books did that as well in the beginning. Um, it was just a little bit more for children comic books, while the pulps were you had to be able to read, because it was just words inside. While the comic books you could just look at the pictures, and I've been reading comic books for I don't know what now. How old am I? 35, 40 years soon. Um, I like the medium. I like the fact of again that you can tell a story with no words. There's nobody saying anything. You don't have to read anything. You can just see the story unfolding in still pictures, but you have to what you do is your mind connects in the dots between, which is amazing. Um, just with the pulps, you just get the one picture and you have to make the story based on that, and I think that's really amazing. So now I have to get cracking at work at Sunday, but that's how it is. Yeah, I have to do some work on the house, so the mason can get started on the inside of the house. We're almost done. I did the hardwood floors. I've painted the walls. I need to paint one more time in my daughter's room. There are doors and windows there now. They're really beautiful. Really expensive, but really beautiful. Um, yeah, so the masons just have to do the walls in the hall and then the floor. and then it's just bits and pieces, you know. The electrician has to get here and connect everything, and then you know where to go. So I'm hoping to move in before Christmas. I'm setting my goals low now because I keep telling myself, you know, I can do this, I can do this. But I got so much work, and I have a farm as well, so I have to do a lot of work here on the farm, in the fields, and all that stuff. Just you know, I don't know the word in English actually. You don't plow it, you just put like a metal thing in the ground and you just rip it open, so it's easier on the dirt than a plow is. The word escapes me right now. Doesn't matter. I did that. You know, I sowed grass all over, and what came up? Fucking two different plants that was like dormant in the ground, but that are poisonous to the horses and the cattle. So I have to battle that shit, and I'm ecological, so I'm not allowed to use chemicals. I don't really have the farm equipment because I just bought this place and I don't have, you know, I have two tractors, but the tractor is, you know, it's just the horse pulling the cart. So I need the carts, you know, I need the machines now. I have to go and buy one today, um, to cut the plants down because it's 13 acres I have. So you know, I did it with a scythe. I was doing it, but it's gonna take it's gonna take me a long time. So, um, and uh, yeah, I might do it with the scythe. No, I think I'll just buy the. I found a used machine. It's just all money going out all the time. That's what it's like being a farmer. It's just money going out. Well, I have my Ferguson hat on because my hair is unruly this morning. Um, yeah, sorry, I'm rambling. Um, I'm getting some more pulps. They're on their way. They've taken a long time getting here. Doesn't matter because I don't have the time, so it's fine. Um, Neil Adams, George Perez. Yeah, two titans in a short period of time. It's really sad for the comic book industry, um, to lose these two fine gentlemen, um, two amazing artists. Yeah, and I hope this year will go easy on us with whom we lose. Um, yeah, I think I like the old school way they did their approach to the medium. I think Adam sort of matured or grew up. I think the Batman Odyssey was absolute crap. But I think that was one of the last things that he did, Neil Adams. Um, but he has done an amazing body of work, and I think that he is one of the most popular artists out there, especially of the older generation. Um, I mean, the young ones, what the fuck do they know? Nothing. You know, they like Jim Lee and Todd McFarlane. So there you go. But no, Neil Adams was the shit. He was really really good. He's one of my favorite artists. George Perez. I I more I'm more in awe of the work that he did than I am of liking his art. But I am really in awe of the work that he did because it's just the amount of details, um, that this guy could get into a panel was uncanny. And so this is longer than I wanted it to be. It's always like that. I haven't been on for a while, so I really missed. I haven't really seen any comic book videos either because I've just been so busy, and I miss interacting with the community. So uh, and I haven't done any of the challenges because I just don't have the time right now. But I will soon. Um, we'll move into the house, and I'll have a bit more time. Um, yeah. So cheer up. I think it's good to like maybe find one of the old Adams and one of the old Perez books and just sit down and have a cup of coffee and just read them. You know, I would um, I would suggest the Green Lantern, Green Arrow, of course, for Adams, and for Perez, I would suggest well, Crisis on Infinite Earth is. It's a mess of a story, but it's it's one of the most amazing works of art, comic book art ever created. It just is. Just just try and read it, or just look through it. Don't read it because the story is. But read it. Look at the art. It's amazing. All right, that's it for me. I need to go to the barber as well. I just don't have the time right now. So really tired, really worn out. Um, it'll be better, you know. I like being busy anyway. So all right, cheers. Thanks for watching. If you did, and if you didn't, you don't know. So have a nice day, everybody. Cheers. Bye.